Hi friends, it's Lori with Main Street Gardener, and today it is going to be just a cooler, gorgeous day. We've got about 12 days below 90. I am so excited. I'm going to get so much gardening done. So this is my side border, one of my border beds that is between the garden and the driveway. And this bed is 2 years old. So it used to be raised beds. I changed it out, and it's one of my favorite spaces. I've done several videos in this area, but there's a couple tweaks I want to make. And since it's cooler, I think today's a perfect time. I also have this grouping of gorgeous plants that I'm actually going to add to this space. So the first thing I need to address today is the lamb's ear. I mentioned in another video that it is just gotten out of control. I think this is 2 plants. It's probably morphed into 4 or 6 plants. But what we're going to do today is we are going to try to cut it away. And the main reason for that is this fall, I'm going to be planting a hedge of either boxwood or some type of holly. We've got compact hollies in our front border and I love them. So we'll see. But I need to go ahead and get this lamb's ear pulled up. Now I am going to transplant it. I'm going to put it on the driveway side and let it grow under the hydrangeas and where it can just spread as a nice kind of understory, low growing plant. Now it is huge here because it's in full sun. Once you put lamb's ear in a shadier spot, it doesn't grow as aggressively, at least in my experience. So that's going to be number one today, is just getting in here. I'm going to salvage what roots I can and try to get it to transplant. I have had huge success with lamb's ear. I think it will root in anywhere you put it. So that's number one. Number two is I have an Atlas rose. I just took out an Atlas rose on the other side of the garden, and I'm going to take out this one. It has just not done great. Again, it's messy. And once I take that out and some of the lamb's ear, it's going to open up a space, and I've got a new plant that we're going to add to this garden. And I think it's going to really provide some structure and some incredible summer beauty. So I'll tell you about those plants in a minute. So this is the first little section that we are going to work on today. Now let me show you the other area, which is going to be on this far end of the garden. Okay, so I've talked about this space multiple times. Back here is a Sweetspire. I'm going to show it to you up close, but it has not done well in this space. Now, I recently looked up Sweetspires. They can grow in sun or shade. This one was a proven winners. But when you see it up close, you're going to see why I want to take it out of the garden. So my overall kind of revised tweaking, it's just a year 2 garden. So for year 3, I just want to have this gorgeous pink butterfly bush. They're not invasive in my area. I know some of you can't grow them. And then I want it flanked with a beautiful hydrangea in the back corner that's just going to provide some gorgeous whites and pinks. And then we're going to pop in another hydrangea back here where that's going to also add some incredible color and a sparkle in the summertime. And then sometime this fall, there will be a hedge of some type of greenery just to really frame and set this garden space. I'm also thinking about this border and this strip of grass. I know my husband's not going to want to get rid of the grass, but I'm really thinking about maybe a bench on either side to be able to sit and enjoy the garden. I don't know. We'll see. I really would love to quadrant this section off and almost have a gravel pathway with it edged and benches, but that's a long-term project. So enough dreaming for today. I am just going to get after it. We're going to start digging up, and then I'm going to show you all the new plants. Actually have some ground cover and the 2 hydrangeas to get planted today. So it's a big project day. We better get started. Oh my gosh, she's huge. So what we're gonna do is while she's here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hori, which is right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and saw and try to divide this while it's here in the ground. All right, well, I just got a water break. It was easy to get out, but it was still a little bit of a workout. I definitely overplanted the lambs here in this space. I remember I had one plant and I divided it into like four and put those in. And of course it took off. I probably could have just used one. So if you are gonna ever buy Helen Bonstein, I love it, but be sure you just start with one plant, see how big it gets in your space. Now this is technically probably two plants. I am gonna leave this one. I may end up regretting it, but I think it's gonna be beautiful. Now I have a small little Proven Winners, the allium, and it's kind of tucked too close to this plant. I think I'm gonna tuck it in back here. And then I've got to decide what to do with this boxwood. I think I'll leave it for today because we're going to be doing the hedge and I think it's going to get moved. So this gives me a really nice space for the hydrangea that I want to plant. So let me grab that. I also wanted to show you this trolley full of Helen Bonstein. I did message my garden club to see if anybody wanted some. I'm going to use what I can. I'm going to see if any neighbors want it. It's such a beautiful plant, and you know, it's a $14-18 plant in the nursery, so might as well share the wealth of this around. Okay, so this is the Ariba Let's Dance hydrangea. I don't know if any of you have tried this one yet. Gorgeous pink, purple, blue, kind of depends on your pH blooms. Look at how healthy this is. I did get this at a local nursery. I love that this one gets 2 to 3 feet, so it's just going to be the perfect size tucked in here. It is reblooming, blooms nonstop. Oh, there's a bumblebee that likes it. And you do not have to prune this guy back. You can deadhead, but you don't have to do major pruning. So it checks the box for low maintenance, which is what this garden bed eventually will be. It also checks the box for beautiful color, and it really matches the other pink and purple tones that I have in the garden. So I'm really excited. We're gonna go ahead and get our hole dug and get this guy in the ground. And then I think I can clean up this section, and then we're gonna move and do the other end. So I think she's just gonna fit perfect right here. She's already almost 2 feet wide, so she'll probably get just a little bit bigger and really fill in this space. Let me show you the stats and the card in case you're interested in this hydrangea. Okay, so there it is. And you can see sun to part shade, 4 to 9 zone, 2 to 3 inches tall, and wide spacing 3 to 4 feet. Sorry, 2 to 3 feet. I always do that. All right, you guys, let's get to planting. Isn't she going to be beautiful? I already know that's exactly what this space needed. Okay, so I think she's gorgeous. I do have this Nepeta, and I think I'm going to tuck it in right here in the front. I still think I've got room for the hedge. The other thing is, this side of the grass is wider than the other side. So when we do the hedge, we're going to have to cut away some grass. I want to really get it cleaned up. The grass is kind of edged in. So I've got about 6 inches or more. The other side is shorter. So we're going to cut that away. I could probably divide this as well, but we will just tuck it in right here in front. I think that'll be really pretty.
So step one of this project is all finished. I was able to get this one side of the garden bed cleaned up, weeded, mulched. I did plant some ground cover. You'll see some little ajuga there, some sedum. I had some extras laying around. I thought I better go ahead and get those in the ground. Now the boxwood is a little close to the hydrangea, but it is going to move later this fall when we add the hedge border. So now I'm going to tackle the other side of the butterfly bush. And first thing is getting this Sweetspire out of the ground. So I think this Sweetspire is going to be beautiful back in our shade garden. Since it can also tolerate shade, I'm going to try it back there. That's a space where I'm fine with just a nice, pretty green shrub with some beautiful spring white blooms. So I think it'll be a nice addition back there. It'll also provide some more height since most of the shade garden is a little bit lower plants. So it wasn't too hard to get out. This had been just a quart-sized plant, and in a year and a half, it has really grown. So if you want a fast-growing shrub, I definitely recommend it. I just would not put it in a prominent space where you want color. So now you know how it is. You do one thing, it leads to another. So I am going to do some clean out. So I went ahead and cut back some on the Rose of Sharon, tied up some dahlias. There were a lot of weeds. We have some seedlings from the Rose of Sharon that I have to tackle. It's not supposed to be a self-seeder, but it is. So that's okay. Got that cleaned up. And now I'm going to cut back these daylilies. I do think I want to move these this fall. I don't like them so close to the butterfly bush. And I think I have some other spaces where the red will just be really beautiful and striking. So I'm going to continue cleaning up. I do need to cut away some more lamb's ear on this side. And so we're going to tackle that also. It is so fun to take a space that you love, but also tweak it and clean it up. I actually enjoy garden days like this. It's a lot of work and you get a lot of sweat equity, but just making those fine-tuned tweaks, I think it's what gardening's all about. It's a lot of fun. And you put a plant in, you're not sure what it's going to do in your garden, and you have to make adjustments along the way. So I think my lesson is it's okay. And you want to make your space the way you want it. So considering it's just a 2-year-old garden, I think it's okay to swap some things out and make some changes. So just doing, again, some more cleanup. And then it's going to be time for me to show you this gorgeous hydrangea that we are going to add and tuck in over here in this corner of the garden.
So this is a first edition little Hottie panicle hydrangea. She's already got some buds on her. I did get this at the garden center. Now she can do sun to part shade and she stays small. So she's going to be kind of compact, maybe 3 feet. There's plenty of room here. As I said before, the dahlias are temporary. I don't plan to keep those in this garden space. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to move these daylilies. I don't love those here either. So my vision is that she will fill in here. She is supposed to have white blooms that turn to that gorgeous pink color. I think she's going to be beautiful in this space. So we're just going to wrap this project up. I'm going to get that Sweetspire moved out, and then we're going to get her planted, do some more cleanup, And then I am going to freshly mulch the edge of this bed. All right, let's get started. Hi friends, well, it is done. This ended up being almost an all-day project. I sometimes overestimate my projects, but I was able to get the edge cleaned up. We still need to clean up the edge of the grass, but that will be a fall project when we add the border. I got the hydrangea planted here, kind of cleaned up this area, tucked in some ground covers, and then planted the hydrangea over here. So I'm going to give you just a tour of the space. We did get it mulched, added some land and sea, watered, so everything should take off and thrive. All right, that's going to do it for today's project. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you're working on and if you've ever grown the little hottie or the, let's see, Ariba hydrangea. All right, bye everybody.